This is ANN News Brief.
I'm Lucy Adeyemi. Kenya says it has frozen the assets of 9 persons it accused of funding Somalia's militant group Al-Shabaab. The Interior Ministry says the move was part of its renewed counter-terrorism effort aimed at tackling domestic terrorists. The ministry says the group was recruiting, radicalizing, and planting operatives among civilians to advance their agenda of extremism and terrorism. Internal Security Minister Fred Matiang'i said in a statement the freezing of assets of the 9 Kenyans would ensure they no longer finance Al-Shabaab group within Kenyan borders. President Uhuru Kenyatta had told global leaders that the coronavirus pandemic had heightened potential for terrorist acts and worsened the refugee crisis that has led to the proliferation of small arms and light weapons in the Horn of African region. Kenya has faced numerous attacks from Al-Shabaab since deploying its groups to Somalia in 2011 to combat the terrorist group. The U.S. government has cut $100 million in aid to Ethiopia over the ongoing dispute on the construction of a mega dam on the River Nile. The construction has been a major issue among Egypt, Sudan, and Ethiopia. Several meetings were held to find a resolution, but a common ground has not been reached. Egypt says it relies on the River Nile for 90% of its supply, but Ethiopia says the project will not affect Egypt's water supply. More than a month ago, Ethiopia announced it had started withholding water in the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed's government has maintained that Ethiopia had every right to construct the dam to meet its power needs. The source, the U.S. State Department, says up to $100 million has now been temporarily cut from Ethiopia funding that expires at the end of the year after the country rejected U.S.-led mediation with Egypt and Sudan. The U.S. State Department official also says the decision to pause certain assistance for Ethiopia was for the nation to reflect on an American concern about Ethiopia's unilateral decision to begin filling the dam before an agreement and all necessary dam safety measures were in place. Ethiopia has said the U.S. was biased and backed Egypt in the talks. Ethiopia's ambassador Fitsum Arega said he hoped the U.S. would reconsider. Arega said he hopes 117 years of diplomatic relations will not be damaged because of an issue not related to the two countries. We'll be right back.
Whether in your house, at your office, on your phone or online, we are there. We have the facts behind the headlines. We cut to the chase with the news you really need. We cover every angle. We are the bigger, better news network. We are African News Network. ANN. Watch ANN News on MITV from a truly African spirit.
The International Red Cross Society says clashes between Mozambican government forces and Islamist insurgents in the northern Cabo Delgado province have forced thousands of fleeing residents to a coronavirus hotspot. The militants have been attacking remote villages across the province over the past 2 years. The Red Cross says many have sought refuge in Pemba, where a coronavirus treatment center has been built. Its head of operations in Pemba, Raul Beetle, says this has exposed many people to the danger of contracting coronavirus. The group, known locally as Al-Shabaab with an Islamist agenda, has been building on decades of local frustrations of unemployment, rigged elections, corruption, and violence. That is the ANN News Brief at 11. For details on these and other breaking stories, visit our website, annafrica.news. Conversation continues on our social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at ANN Africa TV. I'm Lucy Adeyemi.